This is a great point to kickstart that energy circulation in the body. One of the few points that actually do it as a job. So this is a great point, which is also start that energy circulation in the body. One of the few this is so,
all right, good people. Let me just make sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing on IG. IG looks good. Facebook. Let me just make sure. Let's see if Facebook looks good. Yep. And let's make sure our YouTube looks good. Okay, good. Looks like we're streaming in all of the right places. I am Earl McCray, and over the next 20 minutes, I decided to go live. I wanted to spend a little time, as I did yesterday on day one. I wanted to spend a little time talking and sharing with people, how I help people lose weight, reduce stress, and increase their emotional and financial well-being. And so I got multiple cameras here. So depending on what my direction my head is going to, depending on what camera I'm looking at. So I kind of want to start by just revisiting what I said yesterday. So yesterday, I basically, how you doing, IG? Just waving back to you. I shared with you that one of the processes that I use in order to achieve well-being is through spiritual renewal. And I made it a distinction that the three processes that my students in my academy have at their disposal is through meditation, through prayer, and through the reading of the Bible and being able to rightly divide that. And I made it a point on yesterday to make sure I explained that they may seem like they overlap, but they are very, very distinct. When I'm meditating, I'm not praying. When I'm praying, I'm not meditating. And when I'm reading the Bible, I'm not praying or meditating. But they all work in order to give me spiritual renewal. Okay? And so I want to be clear on, that's the first process that I use to help people who are desiring to get to that 2.0 version of who they are. Okay, let's talk about the second process. The second process is through physical renewal. Physical renewal. What does that mean? That means that how you feel makes a huge difference. And it's not just about how you look on the inside, it's how you feel on the outside. It's how you feel on the inside. Don't get Christianity. Why do people believe in that? Hey, listen, you can call it Buddha, you can call it Allah, I call it Jesus Christ. I'm not here to share out with you what your spiritual beliefs ought to be. I just share who I am. And if that resonates with you, amen. With a couple more people on IG. So when we talk about physical renewal, what we're basically talking about is being able to do the amazing, being able to take your body chemistry and move those numbers down. Maybe it's blood pressure. Maybe it's cholesterol. Maybe it's your body mass index. The one thing I learned in my journey, and those of you guys who've been following me know my story, a year and a half, 2 years ago, I was 100 pounds heavier and I was 100K broker. And through some of these processes, I was able to increase my financial and my physical well-being. And, because I was able to do it for myself, I teach it to other people. So what's amazing is with respect to moving that body chemistry, you cannot lose weight. Let me repeat this. You can't lose weight if you're in the fight or flight mechanism. If you're constantly in stress mode, if you're working a gazillion hours and getting limited number of sleep, it doesn't matter what your diet looks like. It does not matter what your physical regimen in the gym looks like. You will hold on to body fat. All right. You will spend a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of energy and not receive that physical well-being that you're looking for. Okay. So with respect to what we do in our academy, what we're going to hit this in a multifaceted way. First and foremost, you're never going to get the results in the gym that you get in the kitchen. So what I say and what I do is on my phone, I keep an app, and I encourage my students to do the same. Keep an app. And I journal, okay, what I eat, food journal. And there's so many amazing apps out there. But ultimately, what you want to do is you want to go from unintentional, mindless eating to intentionality. And as soon as you get intentional, oh my God, the world opens up. As soon as you have to categorize and log what you're eating on a monthly, weekly, and a daily basis, yeah, you're gonna cheat, but when you capture it, it's gonna make you so much more mindful of what it is you're doing. It's not that different when I teach people to do this with their money. So keeping a food journal is immensely important. Now, I'm gonna hit this right out of the park. You have to get out of the fight or flight mechanism. You got to get out of survival mode, which simply means you got to bring your stress level down. One of the biggest things that I teach my students in my academy is something called moving meditation. What is moving meditation? Well, okay, it's not necessarily a Western idea, more of an Eastern idea. And in Eastern culture, Asia, India, they don't focus on lifestyle improvement through surgery necessarily or through something evasive. What they do is they focus on lifestyle enhancement through daily routines, daily practices. So one of the practices that I have adopted is something called Qi Gong. Qi Gong. Go ahead and Google that for those who are out there in social media. Qi Gong. Qi Gong gave birth to things like Kung Fu. Qi Gong gave birth to things like Tai Chi. Qi Gong means the movement of energy. The movement of energy. And it was primarily a medical application. So in moving meditation, what my students do is not only are they physically moving, they're getting the blood moving, they're getting the lymph system moving, they're moving their joints. But the more important part is they're getting that stress level mitigated. They're moving the needle because they're turning the brain off. My friends, if you're worried about the bills, if you're worried about the kids, if you're worried about the job, if you're worried about all of these things, you are going to constantly be in a fight or flight mode. You're going to be in survival mode. When you can turn off the white noise and let your brain slow down to about 7 to 11 cycles per second, allows you to be in what we call a state of alpha meditation. When you can slow your brain down, what you now do is you reduce the stress, the chemicals, that cortisol. The cortisol is the opposite of what you want. You want that dopamine. You want that feel-good hormone to be released. And that is a byproduct of moving meditation. So what we've talked about so far, we talked about food journal. So you have intentionality. We've talked about moving meditation so you can reduce your stress level and be able to get the blood circulating, get the lymph system moving without, insanity workouts, without all of the, I don't know, there's a lot of anxiety, I think. When people get these gym memberships January 1st, and then maybe it's a perception of people perceiving them in a different manner. They just simply stop going to the gym. I do this outside on my patio, or when class is in session and I'm back in teacher mode, I do this in my classroom before the first bell rings and I greet my students. Moving meditation. What happens, my friends, is your eating habits improve. Mindless eating diminishes when you have intentionality. Welcome, welcome. And then the other thing is your energy level, your physical energy, your mental energy, your sexual energy, all goes up. Because what you're doing is you are allowing your body to go back to equilibrium. This is my friends. Told you guys I was a teacher. Nothing stands out in my mind more than the memory of having a fire drill. And my class has always been on the second or third floor. Been teaching 15 years. I've never had a first floor classroom. And lugging myself downstairs with the kids, with the clipboard, taking attendance, and having one of my students say, Mr. McCray, God, dog, you sound like Darth Vader. So I was so heavy, y'all. My breathing, my resting heart rate was just like I had ran a marathon. And, those that remember school, those that remember high school, middle school, kids can be brutally honest and sometimes kind of mean-spirited. And I had my share of fat jokes. But I guess what's even more in my head is my inability to positively influence people I cared about because my walk didn't align with my talk. I'm gonna be kind of vulnerable here right now. I lost my mother to cancer several years ago. And my mother, her whole life, she battled nicotine addiction. She was a 4-decade plus smoker, to the point where I have memories of being 7, 8 years old, guys, and intentionally taking my mom's pack of cigarettes. Stay with me, guys. I would take mommy's pack of cigarettes and I would hide the cigarettes. We had this cast iron bathtub, old school, in one of our homes in the 19th Ward in Rochester. And there came a time where mom, dad decided, they were going to do some upgrades to the house. The kitchen was first, and then the bathroom happened next. When my dad removed that cast iron bathtub, I kid you not, it was over, 60, 70 packs of Marlboro cigarettes that myself and my two younger brothers had over time just, why? We so desperately wanted my mother to stop smoking. You know, my mom was a funny person because she had this parenting style where it was you do as I do, or excuse me, you do as I say, you don't do as I do. And mom one time caught my younger brother uh trying to smoke. Mom worked night shift at Kodak. So we took during the summer, we was home with mom. And my brother would have mommy's cigarette buds and she'd be trying to light the cigarette bud. Mommy woke up. Here's how mommy figured out. And as I think about this story, it wasn't my little brother. It was actually me. It's funny how your mind will shift stuff up on you. My mother sat me down and my brothers and made a spectacle at my grandmother's house. She actually had a pack of cigars. And she says, "You want to smoke, son? You're going to smoke this cigar." Look, I got so sick. I'm 9 years old, y'all. My mother's making me smoke. My mother's making me smoke a cigar. I'm 9 years old because she did not want me to smoke cigarettes. Um, I got so sick to my stomach. In my mind, I have embedded the smell of cigarettes, the smell of cigars as an adult gets me sick to my stomach. My mom had a lot of unorthodox parenting styles that worked. That worked. Not only did I not smoke for a good period of time until my brothers went to the military, they didn't smoke either. But I guess I went down this bunny hole for this reason. Had I had been healthy, my weight had been right, I always questioned, could I have positively impacted my mother while she was on this earth? Because here's how my mom handled me. She said, "Hey, honey, I know you love me. I know you don't really appreciate the smoking, but baby, you chunky. You a chunky baby. You're a chunky young adult. You're a chunky grown man. You need to get your life fixed before you can give advice to anybody else." And as painful as that advice was, as heart-wrenching as that advice was, I took it to heart. I took it to heart. And I understand and I get what my mom was trying to share with me. So what what I will share in closing is that if you have a desire to lose weight, to reduce stress, to increase your emotional or financial well-being, and you believe in the power of mentors, if you understand that, you can DIY all you want, grab a book, do it yourself. I have a book that's coming out at some point. I'll create the e-version. If you're DIY, feel free. I read a lot of books. I went through a decade long of personal growth, but it's one thing knowing the path, it's a whole nother thing following the path. So I graduated from the DIY, getting the books, to getting a master class where they would take me through it one day. And I found that was amazing information. There was no community. And then I graduated from the master class into mastermind programs where there was a community of other like-minded people with similar goals, similar desires, and similar drive. And in that masterminds, we were able to compound one another's results, because there's an amazing book that I recommended to everyone yesterday. Book is called Who Not How. I don't know if I gave you the author, but I'll put it in the link. There's another amazing book called 10X is easier than 2x. And the idea is when you can leverage the skill set of other individuals that have different skill sets than you, and you create a collaboration, your distance between point A to point B gets reduced because you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Other people are there to assist you because in turn, you can assist other people with things that they need. Back in the day when we didn't have a money system, we bartered, and we have a rich history in the African American culture where, the Black Mason would go over to the Black doctor's home and redo the foundation. And in turn, the Black doctor would treat the Black Masons young person, children. There was no exchange of money, but there was an exchange of expertise. And years ago, we talk about, in places like Harlem and places like Philadelphia, where you had, or North Carolina, where you had a large population of professional African Americans. There wasn't an exchange of money. There was an exchange of obligation. We did things for one another. And in that spirit of collaboration, everyone rose. Well, I share that with you because that's what it's like in my mastermind program. When I get a community of like-minded people together, not only do they benefit from the loss in body weight, the reduction in stress, and the increase in their emotional and financial well-being, they're in a position where they're in a community of other people who are just straight up go-getters, just like them. So, I'm gonna shut down our day 2 of our live. If I've said anything that resonates with you, feel free to reach out to me, send me a DM. We do have a 5-day challenge coming up. I will put the sign-up link in the comment section of the bio. For those who follow me, that I would be so far away from some of my goals and dreams if I didn't have someone who poured into me. I have mentors, and as a result of the power of mentors, I get it, and I make myself available to do that for others if they have the desire and the mindset and the willingness for transformation. All right, God bless. Take care, and as always, you got this. Take care, IG. You got this. Take care, you too.